I'm live. I'm here. It's me again. Annette Green here, doing the live for Elizabeth Crafts. I'm just finishing up something really quickly, waiting for y'all to get in here. Doing a little test so I can demo something for you. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello, hello. I'm not even gonna bother with the whole Stream Deck thing today. We're just gonna go for it. Old school. Hello, Carla. There's Els. Hello, Becky. Hi, Wendy. Anya. Doreen is here. Hello. I'm so close to the camera. Ooh. I keep popping in and out of the camera here. But I want to try something to see if it works. Well, you guys are coming on in and joining me today. I think that's gonna work. I think, yeah, okay, good. Hello, Esther. Hi, Lisette. I'm doing good. How are you? Hi from a very sunny, I missed that one. I'll have to go look over here. Got my iPad a little too far away today. So I'm going to lean out of the picture for a minute. There we go. Picture for a minute. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. All right, I got y'all now. Okay. Liked, commented, and shared. Linda, good. Looking forward to this, says Debbie. Awesome. Me too. It should be fun. We're going to make that, we're going to work on this little guy. I'm going to show you how to make it. I showed it in the live on Monday when I debuted my new release, the Splendid season stuff. And I think a lot of people were kind of interested how this was made. It's very simple, actually. But there's a lot of steps and there's a lot of measurements. So I thought that's what I'm going to do today. And I didn't know I was going to do this until like 5 o'clock this morning. And I looked at my messages from Els and she said, oh, can you please take my place? So Els is not feeling great and I was happy to do it. Just had to get things ready. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around, jostle you for a bit, and then we'll get started. Looking at the ceiling. Hold on. There we go. Let's see how that looks. How's my sound? Sound okay? Everything's way up here. La la la. Yvonne is here. Renee. Hey, Renee. Hi, Rhonda. Absolutely interested in the project. Hello, 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 everyone. Okay, so there's a lot to do. I'm going to get right to it. Like I said, we're going to make this guy. We're going to go through how it's all assembled, and I'll give you a little look inside real quick. I'm going to use some different colors and some different papers, but this folds out, out, out. And then these two guys go up and down. And then you've got a little hidden tag, little mini tag over here. And then we've got a pocket over here with a couple of tags. So I'm going to be referring to this one as we assemble, just to kind of remind myself of how everything comes together. But I have the pieces and parts all ready to go. Sound is good? Good, good, good. Okay. Yeah, because I listened to the sound on Mondays, and it felt like it was a little low. So I just want to make sure we're all good. Okie dokie. Yes, don't forget to like, comment, and share, of course, so you can be entered in the drawing for the gift certificate on Monday. Okay, so we're going to start off with like measurements and cardstock and stuff you have to cut if you want to make this project. And like I said, I'm going to use green this time. I used brown before. So I'm going to move all my little pieces I've got here. So you'll need your paper trimmer, you'll need a scoreboard and like a scoring stylus or a bone folder. those traditional things you need to make a little booklet. Okay, so the very first piece that you're going to need, and I believe it only requires 2 sheets of cardstock total for this, and with plenty of scrap. So the first piece you're going to cut is a 12 by 6. Okay, and when you put it in your scoreboard from left to right, you're going to score, and everything's going to be in inches, sorry, 4 inches, 4 1/8 inches, and then over here at 8 1/8 inches. Okay, we have like a double score going here to accommodate all the stuff that folds in, and then the cover has to come over it. So you need just a little bit of extra space there rather than it being flat. Okay, so that's one piece you're going to need. And then to get this to extend out even further, you need an additional piece that would be 4 3/8 wide by 6. And then we're just going to score at a 1/2 inch over here. I rounded these outer 2 corners. That's completely optional. Okay. And then we'll need to cut some tags. Now, I did use Esther's die. This is one of Esther's newest sets, 2055 tab 4 with tags. I'm pretty sure that's right. I hope I got that right. It has all these great tags here. And then the little topper pieces I put on the back just for space here. But there's one more tag. So there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tags and all these great things. And then a page die, of course, with the tab position over here. Now, what you might want to know right away is, do these nest? And they do not. And also, you wouldn't want to because they each have that little hole that punches out at the top. Okay, so there's a little workaround to that part. But these are the dies that I use for my tags. You could certainly just cut your own tag sizes. All right, so if you're going to use her dies, you're going to use the largest one. Let me make sure that's right. Yep. You're going to cut out the entire tag, but then we're going to do a little cut and score on this one. So let me take that off. And I have my little note here. You're going to cut it off at 6 inches. Let's do that first. So paper trimmer, 6 inches is over here. I've already drawn a line, so I know where to cut it. So now you have a 6-inch tall tag, right? And then you want to score at a 1/2 inch over here. And this is actually going to go this way. So it's a 1/2 inch up from the bottom. Okay, let me put my pieces back. And then you'll need to do one more, and this is a different size tag this time. And this is, so not the biggest, but the next one down. Okay, and we are going to cut that whole thing. And then we're going to score a 1/2 inch at the top here. Now, when we go to put paper on these, you'll see you still want to get that hole, right? This hole here. And so how do you do that? Because they don't nest, you can't really cut the next size down. It would float way in, and those holes would not line up. So the best way I figured out how to do that was, let me get all my little goodies back together. And I was testing it right when we were starting to go live to make sure this would work. So what I would do is cut your cardstock a little bigger than your tag is going to be. So let's say we're going to cut this size, right? So I have my cardstock cut a little bit bigger. And then cut your paper, and this doesn't matter right now for demos purposes, but you would want it as long as you need it to be, this pattern paper. And then I adhere it just with some removable adhesive for now. I adhere it 1/8 from the top edge of the cardstock. So it's inset like that. Left and right doesn't matter at all because it's going to get cut away. And then I would line up the die right to the top of that green cardstock and then run this out together, and then the hole will go through both layers. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll show you on this one. Yeah, so like here, and of course we've got one of those little topper things on here already, but we had to get through the paper and the tag at the same time in the same hole position. Same here. So that's the best way I can come up with. If you guys come up with another one, let me know. Hello, Marha is here. Tracy's here. Cool trick, she said. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Jenny is here. Hey, Teresa. Patricia's watching. Rhonda's here. Awesome. Teresa is watching from the city pool. Okay, well, she's keeping cool and comfy. Okay, so now we have all the base pieces cut. And we want to assemble somewhat before we get to cutting any pattern papers. Okay, so the first thing you'll want to do is take that piece that we cut like this and scored, and I rounded the corners, and we are going to attach it, excuse me, to extend it out here. Okay, now I've got some paper clipped back there. I don't want that there right now. So I'm just going to use liquid glue. You could certainly use double-sided adhesive tape for this. I'm not really great about getting things lined up first go around, and I like to slide. I can't commit instantly, so I like to use the liquid glue on most things. This. Liked with the heart, commented and shared. She's got mushrooms there. Who was that? Pamka? Yeah, that was cute. Okay, so that goes there. Make sure it can flip in still. And also just make sure here that if you want to go and fold it in, it's not going to hit that. If it is, shave off like a 1/16 of an inch and you'll be fine. Okay, now we want to attach our flippy flappies. Let's call them these guys. And on my previous one, I have like a big one. And then the little one comes from the top. Stuck together over here. And it comes down over it. Okay, so I'm going to put this big one on first. And I'm just going to leave those things clipped that are on there. They're not in my way, so... Now you could do this on around the back side, but we already have this going around the back, so I want to put this on the front. And it's just, you're not going edge to edge because you want to have room to fold. So you're just really lining up with the bottom and eyeball centering left to right with this. Right now you're looking at green on green, so it's hard for you to see it, but I can see it just fine. Happy Hump Day, like your new collection. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so that goes there. And then we've got this guy. All kinds of pieces and parts to that one. And we can take these little notes away, I think, now. And you see I'm putting the adhesive on the back of the flap, not the inside of the flap. Okay, I have to scooch this down so I can see it. And again, I'm just going to center it left and right. But flush with that top edge best I can. Okay. Okay, cool. So this is going to go up and this is going to come down. And the weight of, just the gravity, I would say, this being the top one, holds this closed. You could add magnets if you wanted to underneath these layers. I didn't in my other one, and it's just fine, Like I said, the weight of everything once it's on there holds that down nicely. But you can certainly do that if you like. All right, how we doing? Thank you, Lisa. I'm glad you like the new release. Mari Van Gils says she liked, commented, and shared. Awesome. Lamari. Cynthia's here. Yay. Okay, Mara's got to go. She's going to watch later. Okay. Well, we'll see you later. All right. So So the basic construction is kind of done, and now we can like decorate it. But there are some steps you have to take in the order that you do these things, right? So let's just make sure all this works before we get committing. Okay, cool. That's always good, right? So I have here a piece of paper that's going to go on my cover, and I guess we can start there. Why not? This paper measures 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches tall. And I have made a note to myself, put the ribbon on first. So I've got myself some pretty kind of twill. You can use anything really, but this is so natural and nice. And honestly, I think I probably got it at the local craft store. Nothing special. I am going to use some fabric glue to glue this down and maybe a little piece of tape. But basically, I'm going to get it just right in the middle there with a little bit of overlap. And the piece of ribbon is about 10 inches long. Thank you. Thank you, Jean. I'm glad you liked the book. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun one. So I'm just going to put a little liquid glue here in the middle. You notice I'm not measuring and making it perfect. I could, because this is 6 inches tall. It's not hard to find the center. So I'm a little high of center. That's okay. When you're doing it, take your time. Okay, and just to kind of smooth that out so it's not super duper bumpy, I'm going to put some clear tape, not too close to the outside edge over there because I got some paper coming. So that holds it even more. Okay, and then before I get too much further doing anything else, I'm going to, as it's closed, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to take this away. This is my back paper. And this is where the other ribbon is going to go to tie it closed. Okay, do the same thing. And by doing it this way now, we don't forget, for one, and then two, we can easily line up these two ribbons with each other. Okay. You love the colors. Thank you, Yvonne. Yeah, I just wanted to, I loved making the first one, and I almost started to make it exactly the same, and then I thought, no, I want to make it different. Okay, so just so I don't forget where that goes, we're going to put that on in a minute. So while that's just kind of setting and getting ready, I want to talk to you about a little thing that I did on the inside and how you might do that at home if you wanted to. And that is this little, it's kind of like a little notepad in here. So I cut some various papers from the book 6, Reminiscence, the book 6. And no, Yona, you have not missed a lot. I mean, there's some cutting directions and stuff. You'll have to go back and watch if you want. But yeah, we're just kind of getting started. So this is just basically papers that I have pre-cut to 3 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches tall. Okay, I stack them all together. I clip them really, really tight on both sides with some paper clips or some clamps, whatever you have. And I'm clipping it very close to the top because I stacked it really good, made sure everything was super level. And then I brushed on some PVA glue just on that top edge. I did about 4 coats every 20 minutes or so. I let the first coat kind of dry. You do a very, very thin coat with just a, you know, nothing fancy brush, and just kind of coat that on there and wipe away the excess. And that makes it into one of those terrible notepads, like every notepad you've ever seen. So just to show you that it can be done, this is my grocery list pad that I make on the computer. You know, just some clip art images, and drew my own lines and trimmed out all the sheets exactly the same, did the same thing. I mounted this to, you know, chipboard, and then put a big magnet so I can put it on my refrigerator. But as you can see, when I go to tear off a page, it's just like a notepad. So that's just a little fun tip. And that's what I did here. It's already done and ready to go. So we'll get to gluing that in just a minute. Yeah, PVA is really, it's like rubbery when it dries, so it allows you to do that. It's pretty cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and decorate. Did I just throw that away? What size this is? This paper? Any paper that you choose for your cover. It's 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And I am just going to go for it, I think, with some tape runner. I think I can handle it. Ingrid loves PVA glue. So Ingrid, what do you use it for mostly? I know it's a big thing in book binding and bookmaking, and that's how I got started with it. But I'm sure people use it for all kinds of different things. Okay, lots of tape runner there. And I even put a little bit in the corners because I can't get all the way out to the edge. You can do that with tickets too. Oh, okay. PVA glue, I think you can get at any like art supply store or mixed media kind of scrapbook stores. I'm betting Michelle with everything scrapbook and stamps sells PVA glue in her store. All right, just a little in the middle too, I guess. Okay. So again, this paper here is from the book 6. I've mixed in some other papers from other books. And I won't be able to tell you from which book because if you've watched me before, you know that on the older books, I tear the sheets out and I sort them by color. So you guys can guess. We can play a little game. Thank you, Julie. You're loving this project. Thank you. Bookmaking. Yeah, Linda. Same. Amazon, of course. Yep. Yep. Well, good, Ray. Thank you so much. Okay, I think I'll get all the papers on and then we'll decorate after. How's that sound? So I just have to find inside front cover, which is this paper here. And this measures 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So you're going to be watching me do a lot of gluing today, and I'll try to peek at the comments while I do that. And once again, I got to get the corners. Yes, like, comment, and share, everybody. For sure. Vicky was happy. She won on Monday. So you'll watch on Monday to see who the winner is. Okay, so this one's going to go over here. I don't remember which book this is from. If anybody does, you can let me know. Okay. And then we're going to make a little pocket here. Let me find my little pocket. It's not showing up right away, so maybe we'll come back to that. I have a little pocket thing. We'll come back to that. Okay. Middle back of flip flap. That's going to be there. Back of flip flap. Oh, that's on the back. Okay. Yeah, these notes, they're helping me because I could get really confused. Okay, this is the paper pad background, so that's what I'm looking for. This is also 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And that's going to go right here where our little paper pad's going to go. Kathy Jacobson is here. Hey! Yes, that is the page that says the Book of Me on it, really big along the side. You're right. I want to say it's one of the books that had a lot of Christmas paper in it, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Cindy Bixby's here. Hey, Cindy. Cindy's my sister from another mister, as they say. Her and Tiffany. Okay, this one's going here. hope I'm centered. I think I am. I can't lean over. Hi, Celine. Welcome. What'd you say there? Late to the party. Well, that's okay. You're here. Thank you for coming. Okay, and then we've got this and this. And we've got to get our paper in here. So back of flip flap. This is the flip flap background. Now this one's a little bit shorter because it kind of folds inside. So it's 3 5/8 by 5 3/4. Oops. Yeah, see, this is what tells me it might be the Christmas paper, because on the back, some of this has like stars and stuff. I don't know. I just was using some shades of green, and the book 6 doesn't have any green in it, so this is a great way to use up scraps too. Don't know which book. Oh, okay. Well, this is where, just use what you got, you know. I certainly wouldn't expect you to go out and buy all the different paper pads. All right, this one goes in the middle. I don't think there's a direction to this little pattern. And this one is nice because it kind of covers up those, you know, those 1/2-inch flaps that you got in there. Okay, and then over here is something fun. So I first cut this piece, the 3 5/8 by 5 3/4. And then you see this little guy? Some of you might recognize that. This is a slit die from the summer workshop. The planner that we did had a die set in it, and it had a long slit die and this shorter one. So you just lay that right on the paper where you want the slit to be, and you send it through your die cutter. So I went ahead and did that. Now we don't want to just glue this right down, right? And did I say the size of this paper? I think I did. There it is. Yeah, I love those slits too. It's so great. And then we don't know, do we call them slits? Do we call them slots? Doesn't matter, right? Okay. They do the job, whatever they're called. Oh, I forgot about this little guy. You have to cut one more little tag. And let me make sure I get the right tag size. Is this one? Yes. So this is the second from the very largest, okay? And I just, you know, cut a piece that's only 3 1/4 deep. I didn't cut the whole tag. I just used a scrap of the cardstock. So you'll need this, and then you'll have to do that trick again, and, you know, some kind of pattern paper where you can die cut this at the same time to get that hole to line up. There's Diane Barnett. Hi, Diane. Welcome, welcome. Are y'all keeping cool down there? Oh no, Diane, are you back up here? I can't ever remember. You move around a lot. What I want to do with this one though, and I like to do this when I'm putting things in slots or tuck spots or things like that, is I like to round the corners so it's a little easier going in and out. And so then I want to do the same with the paper. And I'm just using my little Kadumaro Pro 3-way. It's got a large, medium, small. So I did medium and small to kind of nest those corners. I'll re-ink that a little bit and get this together. Okay. That piece of paper, I have a measurement, but again, you know, do that little trick I showed you earlier to cut the tag. Just so those holes line up. I think I'm going to do this for my friend for her hiking notes. Oh, what a great idea. Yeah, I mean, it's small. They could put it in their backpack or pocket. Take it with them, jot some things down. You can add photos to it later when you come back from the hike kind of thing. I think that would be super fun. I take a lot of pictures of mushrooms. A lot of you know that. And I come home and I identify what kind they are and all that stuff. And then I document that. Okay, so before we glue this down, we have to decide where adhesive is going to go and how far in we want this tag to go, because It could go all the way to the end, but I don't think we want it to. I think we want it to stop right about there. It could stick out a little bit, but we don't want it to get in the way of our little tie closure over here. So I think I want it to be a little bit inside of that yellow edge. So I'm going to hold it firm, take a look back here, and that's the only place it's going to get adhesive, and then of course here and here, and I've got a piece of tape over here. So I'm going to use liquid glue for this part, just so I can slide it in place. Sandy Sherman is watching. Susanna, you do that too? What do you mean you do that too? You slide it in there and check it out? Before you adhere? Things together? Okay. I'm not going to get too close here. Because, you know, when we go to... See, I can take this out now. But when we go to press this down, I don't want any of the glue to ooze out and go all over the place. Ugh. Okay. So this is... Ooh. I'm going to turn this way, and I got to get my head down over it, kids. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, the glue started to dry on me a little bit in this corner, so press that down. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm not going to put the tag back in there just now because it's still drying, but I cut out the little topper pieces. This one I'm going to use this time. Last time I used the little squared off ones with the red, like this here. They just fold over. They got that cute little stitch. But just to be different, I use this one this time, and I'm doing brown. There's a little tiny score line in there, so I'm going to do that first. And then get these glued down. I always do one side, line it up. Inevitably, if I try to do both at the same time, something goes awry. I don't line up or something doesn't work. Okay. And that just folds right over. And this reinforces this tag so nicely. Sandra, we need you in Jacksonville. Sandra, are you, do you go to Crafting at the Nest with Cindy and the gang? Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. I have taught in Jacksonville before. Okay, so this piece of paper has a measure as well, but again, that same trick. So you get that hole lined up. I've inked all the edges already, so it's ready to go. When you do cut this paper, you want to be kind of mindful if there is a paper direction, like the back of this, for example. That there's definitely a direction to the back of this paper. Let's say I wanted that to be the front. And especially in this case, you'll want to pay attention because this will be upside down. In this case, it would have worked. It would have been fine. But when you go to cut it, you have to sort of know your plan, right? Okay. This is going here. I got a piece of paper floating back there. I gotta get out of the way. Okay. I think I can put this in now. Well, I'm gonna wait. Don't want to jinx myself. Okay. So if we look back at my other one. Oh, that's fun. We're going to do that. Okay, so we've got that paper on there, but then we've got this paper down here. Can you see it? So, Let's get that on there. And I'm pretty sure it's this one. Yeah. Okay, so this one measures 3 by 4.5. You don't have to worry about it lining up or any holes like a tag hole. Just a basic rectangle for more journaling. Okay. And this can just float right in here. I mean, you could really dress this up and do all kinds of stuff if you wanted to, but we're going to keep it a little simple. Sandra said that Cindy told her. Okay. I think Cindy is coming to Banff for the retreat. Am I right? I think I'm right. Okay, so now we have a piece that needs to go here. And I have cut out the word journal. And I have to make sure I have room for this guy. And I do. I have plenty of room. Okay, so this little piece of paper is 2 3/4 by 4.5. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, thank you. I think I want it this way. Okay, and then journal. I'm just going to glue that with liquid glue. Put that right at the top, kind of centered. I think it's straight. There we go. Kind of straight. Okay. All right, and then we have to get paper on this side. I'm going to put that in there now. I think it's good. All right, so this is going to go here, and this is going to go here, and I have this paper. So again, one of the tag papers, so we don't care about that measure. Just do what I had showed you earlier. So this lines up with this. Okay. Yeah, keep on liking, commenting, and sharing so you can get entered in for the gift certificate on Monday's drawing. I will just mention, if you don't follow me personally, but you like to do planners and you also like keeping like a date book style planner with pages that you put your appointments in and all that stuff. I do have an Etsy shop where I'm selling those pages pre-made for you that you just have to print yourself and cut yourself. Don't cut yourself, cut your own papers. I just listed them yesterday. So my Etsy shop is Art by Annette Green. All one word, if you want to go check that out. I do a YouTube video, which I also posted yesterday, to show you, even though you get directions when you buy the digital download, you can watch the video for even more visual help, because I'm one of those kind of people. I need to see it in action. Like, I can read directions fine, but my brain can't always put it all together as well as just watching it happen. So I did a nice long video yesterday to show you how to work with all those different options I have. Sidekick or full-size planner. Okay, Petronella, you're going to have to translate that for me. I don't have time to translate the Dutch. Is it Dutch? I'm going to assume it's Dutch. Okay, and we also have one more we got to do here with the brown tag topper. How are we doing on time? Are we okay? 2:40, 20 minutes. I think we're good. I can read and watch and still mess up things. So can I. Yes. My husband and I, we just moved to a new apartment in a different little town near where we used to live. And our living space is so much bigger. We can actually have a table and chairs to sit and eat at. So we went to IKEA and got table and chairs. Really nice, actually. And you know, IKEA, you got to put it together yourself. And that is my husband's forte. So he took to that and I did something else, and I heard him swearing from the other room because he put something on wrong, even though the directions just told him what to do. Okay, so we're going to decorate this here a little bit because what's going to happen here is needs a little time to dry. So if we had started with the cover, you'd know that I cut some ferns, or I cut a fern from this paper, and I kind of inked it a little brighter green for the cover, you'll see. But I always love that negative leftover, so I just sort of tore around it and then inked those torn edges. This is that same paper. And I want to put it here, and it looks good just like that. But you could, like I did on my other one, you could put a little, this is tea-dyed cheesecloth, if you have any or want to do that. You could just cut a chunk of that. I don't think it tears really easy, I don't know, but I know it tends to want to grow as you're playing with it, so a little goes a long way. So I would glue that with some Fabri-Tac and then put that right there. You could always trim away, you know, like if you felt like this was too much and it was getting into the fold, you could trim that away. But let's get that down. And I think what I'll do is try to be a little strategic about where the glue is. So again, with the Fabri-Tac, and I believe if I just put it on the back of this guy, I can push through. I didn't do it this way on my first one, and I see a lot of glue on it because I just put glue on the cheesecloth and it was a hot mess, sticking on my fingers. So I'm thinking if I go with a nice thick glue like this on the die cut instead, you could push it right through because it's cheesecloth, you know, it's got all those holes and spaces that are easy to push glue through. Okay, let's try that. Right in the middle, hopefully. And I could put something heavy on here to hold that down. I think I'll just use my big heavy hand. Thank you so much, Susanna. Thank you, Belinda. That is my favorite too. The mushrooms and the die, the mushrooms and the ferns die set. My personal favorite. Yep. And cheesecloth, you can buy cheesecloth at the grocery store, anywhere, and I just throw it in a bath of hot tea and let it kind of get off whitish and kind of vintagey looking. I am going to trim this a little bit. There's no sense in having too much over here. Okay, we don't want it perfect, but I think I'll stop there. I think that's good. Kind of cute, right? So we've got this and we've got this. And right now it's just going to be plain. I'm not going to do anything else. This is where you could make your own and really go to town with it and decorate it however you like. Okay, so I think we'll just kind of keep moving this away. And this is our little stack of note papers that I did the PVA glue on. And you could just glue this right on down, like put adhesive all on the back of this entire first sheet back here. But I'm just going to do a little strip of double-sided tape because once like if I were to tear sheets out of here and I get to the bottom one, that one can stay, and then I can just do the whole stack again and add more instead of, you know, having that solid. You could even put something under there. It's just completely up to you what you want to do. Okay, now we're gonna move over here. I still haven't found my pocket, so we might not be doing a pocket. Let's flip this over. I can't imagine where it's gone, but you know, it is alive. Things happen. Okay, so this is my back piece, and this is the one that I said ribbon first. And I just threw away the size, but I'll tell you what it is. 3 5/8 by 5 3/4. Just check it to make sure. There's Terry joining us. Hello, Terry. Maybe it's stuck to the back of your iPad like Monday. Well, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Belinda. Oh my gosh. What in the world? That's so funny. That just cracks me up. Well, thank goodness for you, Belinda. I tell you, that was great. Yeah, I was, trying to go live from my Stream Deck like Monday, and I tried super early this time to make sure it was going to work. And I was on the phone. I was actually on the iPad phone with Anya at the office trying to figure it out. I must have laid it down on that stuff. So funny. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, and now this is the back of the flip-flap one, and since we're back here, let's just do that one. Is there a right or a wrong way? I think it goes this way. And so we don't want to do anything with this ribbon, just push it out of the way and get this one on here. Things all the time and lose them too. Yeah. Happens to the best of us. Did I say what size this one was? I think it's a little bigger. I want to make sure. Nope, it's the same. 3 5/8, 5 3/4. Okay, and then this last guy, where are you? Oh, this. This is definitely from the book 6. And I just kind of trimmed it to make sure it was within 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. But it's already ready to go. I did round the 2 corners out here to match my little album. Yeah, I used to have one of those... oh, who made it? We Are Memory Keepers. The all-in-one, and it had a magnetic something or other going on in it, and I was always losing dies. I would set it down on my table, and the dies were under there, and then I'd go to clean up and couldn't find the die, and it was inevitably always at the bottom of that trimmer scoreboard combo thing. Okay, I could have trimmed this maybe a little bit more, but it works. I wanted to have that dark brown border all the way around, and I didn't want to cut off like just one part of it. So there we go with that. Bye-bye, Terry. She's going somewhere. Thanks, Joe. Such a fun book, she says. I'm so glad we found the pocket, Belinda. Yay. Okay, so your pocket piece, again, this is another piece of cardstock that I missed. 3 7/8 wide by 3 inches tall. And I don't know if you can see this pencil line, but I want to make a little curved pocket out of it. Okay, so I just grabbed, I happen to have already cut this from Yosette's shaker set, and it was just laying right there to my left. So I have traced the pencil line just to round off that one corner, which I'm going to do right now. Okay, not bad. Not perfect, but not bad. Okay, and then I want to cover it with paper, of course. So I pre-cut the paper 3 5/8 by 2 3/4, but I have to cut that to match. So I'm just going to get that about where I want it and flip it over and trace that edge. But then when I go to cut it, I'm going to cut it 1/8 of an inch inside. Wish me luck. We'll see. This would be much better with a craft knife, in my opinion, so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so we'll see how that looks matched up here. Okay, I could tweak that a little. Yeah, it just needs a little, needed to start over here a little bit more. And by the time I ink the edge, it'll be fine. Okay. Teresa Cruz is here. Hello, Teresa. Welcome. Thank you, Patricia. I'm glad you like it. How much time I got? 2:51. Okay. Got to get the cover assembled. I mean, we're nearly there. We're just about there. So I'm excited. This is actually working out. All right, I'm going to do the same. Get a little liquid glue on there. Of course, you could use, you know, one of the pocket dies. You could do all kinds of cool things, but I'm just going to do it this way this time. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's okay. It's okay. And so I'm going to put adhesive just here and a little bit over here to make a pocket on this inside front cover panel. A little bit more here. Yeah, I may go over. We'll see. I want to finish. We'll see. Okay, there's that. And to go in that pocket, I have cut from Esther's paper, the book 6 again. 2 tags already ready to go. All I did is punch holes and put in some twine. And so those will go in there when that's completely dry. Everything else is decorated. Now, we could do a little mushroom action down here. What I did on my first one was this. So I think we'll do something very similar. So I've already pre-colored these because I felt like definitely it was going to take too much time to have you watch me color. But I just used, you know, little fingertip daubers and distress inks to color everything you're about to see, okay? Nothing fancy about the way I color at all. Just your basic stuff. So I think I'm going to put that there. And this little tiny guy. Now, who knows what kind of mushroom that is? Tell me now. Let's see who the real mushroom fans are. Mushroom time. Yeah, Naomi's so happy. Any guesses? What kind of mushroom? Hey, Dana. She's got her whole mushroom love going on over there. Okay, this guy I'm going to put way over here. Chanterelle. Yes, Mary. Yes, Robin. Yes, Renee. Everybody knows. Hey, what do you know? Very good, kids. All right, then I'm going to put my little chanterelle down here. I've eaten chanterelles. If I remember correctly, it is those that they cook down, like disintegrate down to nothing, as often mushrooms do. But you can eat them safely. And no hallucinogenic after effects, unfortunately. That was for Dana, that comment. Let's see, I'm going to put this kind of up here. Even though it looks like it's floating, we're going to put this little guy around here somewhere to cover that up. But we'll get both of these down first. I bought some beautiful blue oyster mushrooms from the local farm stand, like the farmer's market. And I have to say, if you like mushrooms and you like to have very fresh ones like that, a blue oyster mushroom is a really good one to try because it doesn't have like a super like meaty, strong flavor. I want to add a little bit of red to this one. They hold up really nicely when you cook them. They do not cook down and like disintegrate. They're actually quite nice. Okay, I hope and I think that this has a little of that crackled, what is it, crackling campfire ink on it. Just want to add a little bit of red. There's a lot of yellow going on here. Just kind of toward the center. Yeah. That helps, right? It doesn't just blend into everything else. Oh my gosh, risotto, Yona. I made risotto last night, actually. It is one of my favorite things, but it's not necessarily my favorite thing to make because you gotta stir the holy heck out of it constantly for like 30 solid minutes. But it's so worth it. One of the other things I had bought at the farmer's market were Italian red peppers, and I roasted them first and then I chopped them up and put them in the risotto. Oh, that was so good. In fact, that might be dinner tonight because we have some leftovers. Okay, I think I can put my tags in this pocket and then we can decorate the cover and then it's done. Oh, did you see that? It came right through the bottom. So that tells you I did not get enough glue under there. I will do that really quick. That's an easy fix. Just hold that for a second. Thank you, Sylvie. I'm so glad you like it. Yes, roasted red peppers. Super easy. Super, super easy to roast them in the oven. Hunting in the woods, mushroom risotto is my favorite. Yeah, I love to cook and I love to try new things, and I'm not afraid of too much when it comes to foods and trying things. I really am an adventurous eater to a degree. You know, not crazy. Okay, so this goes here and this goes here. And this comes over here, and now we can decorate our cover. Now, we don't have to have it closed to decorate it. I could certainly do this so it's a little more flat, and I think I will, just so I'm not struggling. So what I've done is, as you saw before, I die cut that fern and then the big fern, and then I darkened this one a little bit so they didn't look exactly the same, and I brightened this one up like I talked about before. So we're going to get that on there, and I'll take a peek at what I did before and see if I want to do the same thing. I think we'll do something a little similar. So I believe first I should really get these down, and these are those photo corner stamps with the matching dies from the layered labels set, and I did these really quickly before going live, so they are not perfect. But I was saying in the live on Monday, you definitely want to stamp first and then die cut. I think. I used the Misty platform and I was rushing. The very first one I did came out perfect, and then I was rushing, so the rest of them, well, 2 out of the 4 are good. The other 2 are not to my standards, let's say. So I'll put the 2 good ones up top here. This one's pretty good. Thank you, Astrid. So glad you like it. Hi, Angel. Really love the folded books. I do too. Super easy. Very fun. Okay, one more, and then we'll get the mushrooms on there. I should have made a mold. A mold? The things that you learn when you start to design your own dies and stamps, it's constant, because now that I've done what I've done, I would have probably set up the die and the stamp. The stamp would have 4 in the same position as the die, and it would have been like a no-brainer, super easy. But, you know, hindsight's 2020. Okay, so the fern is a little tedious. I tend to focus on just gluing those outside tips very quickly, and then go back really fast and hit maybe some of those middles. I don't go down every leaf. You certainly could put double-sided adhesive behind this before you die cut it. I have not done that yet, but it can be done. So I'm going to put that there. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yep, that's right. Okay, and then we'll put this one on next, and then our mushrooms will go on the very top. Now this one is a little easier because there's not quite as many little detail-y points to it. So I'm just going to hit each one of those, and then the stem a little bit up the middle. And we will tilt this one out this way. Like a jig, cut one, then use the waist to line up the others. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, I know exactly what you're saying. That's an excellent idea. I'm going to do that next. Okay, so we have notes, and then we have nature. Nature is cut out with Esther's, one of Esther's newest dies too. And I don't have it mounted onto a magnet sheet yet, but it is called the number 2056 tab 5 with photo slider page. It has the entire alphabet on there, but she's so smart. She did like words like this, love that. Various different words that would use a lot of the alphabet, but then she gave us all the other letters of the entire alphabet. So you can spell out anything. I love that. That's thinking right there. Okay, so I'm going to put notes right in there. And I've die cut them, and I stuck them on my little Sizzix sticky grid paper so that they're all kind of lined up nicely. And then I use some removable mint tape here to keep them lined up so I can get the glue on them. This is not my trick. I've seen this done many times by others. Okay. And then hopefully I can see through to where the word notes is. Probably should have put this on the top. Yeah, that wasn't smart. Again, hindsight. Okay, so I'm a little off to the right a bit. I could move it real quick, but I am not going to do that. I'm fine. Are you fine? Is that okay? Yeah, it's a good trick, but definitely if I had put nature first and then notes, that would have been fine the way I had it taped. But I knew I had to get notes down in here in the ferns, so I really should have taped the top, but that's okay. Okay, finally, we have these cuties, which I've already colored and assembled. Okay, what's the name of this one? The real name. Let's see if you all know. It's kind of funny that this is like the signature mushroom that people like to use and designers use when they make paper and die cuts and stuff. If you know anything about it, you know that it is one deadly, deadly mushroom. You do not want to eat that one. What's it called? Eric. Oh, somebody's asking somebody else. Oh, well, it sounds like Eric, doesn't it? In Dutch, oh boy, that's a hard one to say. Well, death cap, you could call it that, yes, but there is a technical name for it. And the hint of it is the first part is fly. Fly agaric. There's Naomi with it. She knows. She got it right. Okay, and I'm going to put whoever these guys are. These just look like little, I don't know what kind those are. Put those right in the front. And oh my goodness, 3:05, and we did it. We finished the whole thing. I can't believe it. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let's put those tags in there now, see if they don't fall through the bottom. I think that's perfect. And then we tie it up. These ribbons will get, they will get softer as you tie them. It's the same one I used before, but these have gotten very tattered and soft and nice. That's how these will become eventually. Really fun. Okay, cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me turn this camera around here. There we go. Awesome. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you try it. I really appreciate you guys being here and checking it out and sharing your afternoon with me. And hopefully I'll see you soon in a live in the future. And Create and Craft in September, I'll be showing my new release again. Okay, thank you guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye.